Hey yo, this is another video, so let's go. All right. It's something that's been brought to my attention over time. Like I was damn near kind of going through it myself. So you can really have some kind of, when you go through something yourself, you have like a experience with certain things and how to take care of something or how to nurture something. So I didn't know it, but I don't go to the doctor or the dentist. Like I've healed each one of my feet from being fractured at different times, and by myself from watching years ago when I got a hand fracture in my left hand a long time ago, and my thumb went in, and it was a fracture, and I learned how to heal my own or wrap my own fractures without going to a doctor. So, but anyway, this video is going to be about how why did they take out alcohol in mouthwash? They're taking out alcohol in mouthwash. Why is that for a reason? That's got to be for a reason. I know it's for a reason. 111 just passed. Wow, just look down. It's for a true reason. For me, like I was saying from experience, I dealt with this pretty much recently, within the last few months. But I was doing this for the longest, till it led up to this. So like, all right, here goes a good one. All right, if you ever seen the TV show The Simpsons, Bleeding Gums Murphy. Remember he was a saxophone player, and Lisa Simpson looked up to him. So Bleeding Gums Murphy, should be his name. I didn't look it up before I started this video. This is all off my mind memory, so I didn't write anything down this time. But I do have. So when I was thinking, I was just reading yesterday and this morning, and I seen this. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna get into this more. So, but I'm gonna make this one good, but not short, but good, style with information and things you guys can go check out yourselves outside of what I've presented. And if there's anything wrong with it, bring it to the forefront and put it, like you type it in or whatever, the comments or whatever. Show me your side. If it's something you feel like is wrong, I can extend or extend my learning. So if not always looking to be right, but making sense to the point where we can use it as highly melanated people. So, all right, what I was getting to before I started all of that is the mouthwash. All right, I dealt with this recently, so like I was like, man, my I don't like. Cause I remember like I was dealing with somebody. And this woman, I feel like she put some magic on me. So I learned one thing is, like, me coming up, I'm like, I had to learn how to do a lot of defense, countering and stuff, countering your opponent or what's around you. My opponent, my lifelong nemesis is God. So yeah, 3-3, you know what I'm saying? 3-3-3 just hit. So for real, corner zone. That's the number for corner zone. But yeah, that's a spider, a vampire spider. But yeah. But anyway, yeah. So in order for me, I was trying to figure out what was going on. At the same time this is happening, and I had got everything out of my area that this person had given me, and like I'm thinking like her magic is on it or her power is on it. Let me get it out of my direct vicinity, and did something in order to clear something up. And then I said, you know what? I said, damn, because the label of my what do you call that shit? The label of my alcohol. See, you know, if you have rubbing alcohol, 70-90% or whatever. This is what you should do. They don't put. Remember I was saying before in the videos, in this video, they're not putting alcohol inside your mouthwash anymore. So bacteria has a way to live secretly, and in order to get to your what? Your inner ear. If you're a highly melanated person, highly carbon person, highly carbon person, I call it triple C's, cosmic, chaos, cosmic, carbon, person like myself, um, a car, a carbon, chaos, carbon, chaos, cosmic, carbon person, a chaos, cosmic, carbon person. So yeah, so anyway, highly melanated people, so-called black people. Now check this out. Now, in order for you to you hearing bad, we might like this. Think about it like this: what's going on, like what you're seeing visually and what you're hearing musically, isn't the greatest of music or greatest of entertainment we've had in years. So, what if they're doing? They say now without alcohol inside the mouthwash. Now they say now without alcohol in the mouth. I'm thinking, oh, I kept thinking like my mouth. I'm like. I was getting like 2 cuts like inside my mouth. Like, man, like that was, I was like, I gotta figure something out. I said, only way you supposed to do this, because I've been using, I don't use toothpaste, I use hydrogen peroxide. So with hydrogen peroxide, I mean you cleaning everything out, but you're not killing anything that's in there. So by me using hydrogen peroxide, I don't use toothpaste because of what's inside the toothpaste. So what's inside the toothpaste, really, they have it in certain areas of town, but they say the stuff that's inside this toothpaste is actually it can hurt the growth or the health of your pineal gland. So you already know what's in there. So, but yeah. So when I looked at it, like I remember growing up, what do you call it? The mouthwash used to be like, I used to be like, it's spicy. You know, when I used to drink the mouthwash and spit it out or rinse around and spit out the mouthwash. The mouthwash, it was, it means it was killing bacteria when you felt that in your mouth. So I said, you know what? I said, just in case it's both, and she had something to do with it to make it linger, I got rid of everything that I had around that was around that was given to me from this person, and then lit me a good black candle, and I was thinking. I said, oh, how about I put in a little bit of rubbing alcohol inside of, when you have the tops of your mouthwash. Yeah, so I put it inside of a small cup, the rubbing alcohol and the hydrogen peroxide. The lower volume will go to the alcohol, but the higher volume will go into the peroxide. A balance, like a 25 to 75% balance. So I do back and forth. Like before, I noticed my teeth was like, my gums was really starting to bleed. I'm like, man, it's something really happened. I remember that with the Simpsons character, Bleeding Gums Murphy, and he ended up dying because the thing is, what was he, a musician, right? Wasn't Lisa a musician, right? And he ended up dying through the ear. You be like, what? Yeah, through the ear. He was dying through the ear. The mouth, his gums was bleeding because it was bacteria that he wasn't being able to take care of. So it was getting into the inner ear. This was happening to me. I was feeling like pimples around my ear. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like when I started feeling those cuts, it was the same time. Like, man, this got to be connected with not having any alcohol in it, because like all I would use was peroxide twice a day, once a day, but I would brush my teeth really well. So I was like, man, something telling me just go ahead and put the alcohol in there with it. And I said, man, my gum was burning so much. I was like, I needed this. And I put so much, like when I first put it in, I'm like, I want to you get the best result to see what happened. I put a bunch, like a little bit in, half of that little cup you get in your mouthwash, for your mouthwash. I put it in that, and I rinsed around my gums. I'm like, man, I just felt so much burn. I said, that's what it is. I use mouthwash, and the mouthwash, it doesn't have any alcohol in it, so it's not killing any bacteria. So it's still going to be able to linger. So then you have to go to the dentist more and more, and deal with all that, because they lose blood. And when you lose blood, they can still have that. Even though they can take it with a vial or numb your gums. I'm telling you this. I'm telling you, trust me. If you're not using toothpaste, because I don't use toothpaste, I haven't used it in years. So I figured this out. After I started doing that, I'm trying to stay on task too. So I won't get, like, I'm in 3 different zones right now. I'm trying to give love to each one of them. So you say, understand where the story I'm coming from. So I'm gonna give you a visualization in a book too. Also, what I'm talking about. I didn't see this. I knew about this from before, but the thing is, I knew it was dealing with the ear. So, like, you gotta think about it. As highly melanated people, so-called black people, the inside, whatever you eat, is going in, and it's like whatever's laying around. That's why you say it's good to brush 2 times a day. So when you're doing that, brushing that 2 times a day, you're able to keep more and more bacteria out. So when you're not able to get kill the bacteria, it's getting to in your ear. You touch those sides behind where all your teeth are at, and on each side of you feel like this part, and it feels connected to the ear. If it's getting to that, I was having pimples around my ear. So I'm like, after I started doing I gotta slow down some. Doing the alcohol with the hydrogen peroxide, because I always did the hydrogen peroxide together. I haven't been having that problem. I started realizing, I started squeezing those. I was like, yep, that's what it is. Started building the cysts around, like, in your ear. Like, if you're not really regularly, if you're not going to the dentist, you take care of everything yourself. You got to be your own doctor, your own physician. So I've healed myself through a lot of things, through like trying to do my magic, and that's a part of my magic. So, and I'm learning certain things, like, as in not to like, if you notice your feet swelling up, if you're diabetic, or if you may have a lot of how I say this, sickle cell, get you some greens. Just eat you some greens. Trust me. Drink you some water. Eat you some collard greens or whatever. You don't even put all that salt on it. Don't even do it. Eat it raw. Eat it out the bag or whatever, and clean them, whatever, and do what you do and eat them. I'm telling you, collard greens, we've been cooking them with all that pork and stuff in it. But why, like, it's for love and all that. I wanted you to get the collard greens by eating it by itself. You're gonna see a big difference in your body and how you able to react. So, like, that's two key. That's one key for 2 different things. So just letting you know, 1313 just passed. My art, balance, truth, chaos is change. That's the only thing that's constant. That's the truth, chaos. So that's what my art is brought in from a new aeon to now. It's about to be the aeon of Cthulhu right around this time on this motherfucker. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. So if you understand, you understand. But yeah. So when I was using the alcohol, man, I felt it burning so much, and I started doing it more and more, 3 times, 2 times, 4 times a day, and it, like, now it's gotten to the point where I don't even feel anything around my ears. Like, that's how Bleeding Gums Murphy died, because that's the pineal gland. I don't have the book around me right now. It's called The Face of God, and that destroyed him on the inner ear. The inner ear is everything. That's what a Brahmarandra Chakra is at. Brahma, Abraham, supposedly Brahma in Hindu, and Abraham in Hebrew or / Jewish mythology. These are both mythologies. So that, but you have to, as in the higher self, or as the deity, they say the face of God is the God pineal, the pineal gland. So remember, it was 3 crosses on Calvary. So you have 3 main glands in your head, on a hill, the foothills of the mountain. So, okay, so yeah, if you that's the thing, being able to understand that. So Bleeding Gums Murphy ended up dying from, like, something like what he had, like, that's his name, Bleeding Gums, because all that got into his ear, which leads to you dying on the inside internally. So he had internal bleeding. So he wasn't taking care of his able to take care of his teeth. So, but that was it's a cartoon character, but it's something that we can learn from. And also, I always tell people this, shocker, the Bouvier family, their hair rises up like in a poof, like in an afro or so. Lisa, Bart, Maggie, everybody's hair goes up except Homer. What does that tell you? And they had the French background too, also. So the Bouvier thing, and they had that series, but that's just going to show you. But that's why it was just so weird. But it never was brought up. But we don't look at it like that. But anyway, let's fast forward to what I was talking about. Being able to put in alcohol with what you're in your mouthwash. I put it in my mouthwash too, also, and I've been able to heal so those cuts are actually healed up. Everything is good, like on the inner ear. And I was feeling this for a while back, and I took care of it a few weeks ago. But I was like, man, let me find, and I was just reading, and I was like, man, this is the second time I've seen it from the same author in 2 different books, and brought up. I remember Brother Bobby Hemmett was talking about that in the book of Thoth. Aleister Crowley brought up the Brahmarandra Chakra, and if you go into the Goetia, the lesser key of Soloman, the king, translated by Samuel Liddell and McGregor Mathers, him and Aleister Crowley had like this thing going on around this time where it was like kind of going back and forth, and but Aleister Crowley edited with the introduction by Aleister Crowley. I'm gonna show you the books. I have them. I'm gonna get into them a little bit and I'll show you the cover. But I gotta handle something really quick. Hold on. So if we students of learn the information that was brought from from the ancestors from the ancestral family to through Bobby Hemmett to us. Remember, he was talking about the book of Thoth, and he was also talking about the Goetia. So if we're students of that teacher, why can't we further it instead of just staying there? I know there's other places people can be taking it, and I've seen and I heard some of these voices, and I heard some of these people that's doing their own thing out here, of course. But I know they could be taking it further. I have way less than you guys have, and I'm reaching for things I know you probably could be talking about. But it depends. Who's your master? Are you your own master, or is somebody else your master? That's the funniest thing. I must say this. I keep saying this now. The ancestral family is telling me the family will be able to, your actual physical family can actually stop you to a point at a standstill, to the point where I remember it was in a book, The Spear of Destiny, that was talking to this general or something that was dealing with Aleister Crowley. He said they captured your family, or your daughters and your wife. Will you give in? He said, kill them. I'm not giving in. Kill them. But we don't think like that. We get the crime. People get that's what I'm saying. They able to do this with people in the music industry. Like I said, the inner ear, music. Now I'm gonna show you. They able to scare these people that if you make this music, we'll kill people in your family and shit. We'll even kill you. They know it's coming from them. They get to live like deities right now because they're taken care of. They'll use their music against the people. Either if it's bad sounding music or if it's great sounding music, the great sounding music, they'll post it on the shelf. If they're putting it on the shelf, they wait until a certain time pass. And I showed this with prior videos, right? 1911 just passed, right when I said that, 9/11. You know who that is? That's Lakshmi. Lakshmi is 6/11, and Ishtar is both. She had to fall from heaven to get her husband to hell. She had to go to hell to get it. Like it means going to a physical. The hell is the earth. So if they can get in your inner ear, is your deityship. So Ishtar, Easter. But anyway, let's keep going. None of this is timed or anything to make it look like anything. I'm actually going off the top, and I was just reading. I said, hey, let me go ahead and make this video, and it's video 19 minutes already. So let's keep going. All right, so Let me show you the book. So I don't like people saying like, oh, I don't like people like when it's like, oh yeah, when people just be reading, and you don't know what they're reading, you can't see what they're reading. So it ain't about what I look like. It's about the information. Okay, the Book of Thoth by Aleister Crowley. Okay, right here. Get up on it. Let me get up on it. She said, can you get up on it? Yeah, I can get up on it. Now consider the traditional form of Harpocrates, as in Horus. Okay. Okay, it reminds me of something. You gotta really look at this, and when you look at it, like the person that wrote that movie, I got something for that. Okay, he is a babe, as in a child. That is to say, innocent and not yet arrived at puberty. I know something about this. A simpler form of Parsival. Parsival is what? Part of the King Arthur mystery, or the King Arthur in the Round Table. He was the fool, the country boy that rose to the top and was and took care of what he had to take care of. But in the movie, King Arthur was like, throw it in the lake. Throw Excalibur in the lake. For what? Just because you supposed to no, he supposed to. Parsival should have taken the sword himself. Because all it is, see, Parsival is Harpocrates. And King Arthur is Asar or Osiris or Thammuz in Persian mythology. Like Ishtar's husband, or in her name originally was Nanna, before her name turned to Ishtar. Okay, so Nanna, 222 just passed. Nanna and Ishtar is the same person. Her name only changed when she went to hell. So, but yeah, let's keep this going. So that's why mythology is. That's why Brother Bobby Hemmings say mythology is important, because everything got the piece. It's all pieces of you. Why just go with your heart when you need the rest of your body to survive in his matrix? Don't just go with your hand. You need the rest of your body. You know what I'm saying? Don't just go with your foot. You need the rest of your body. So put everything together. All right. A form of Parsival. I said Parsival is Heru or Harpocrates, and King Arthur is Osiris or Asar. He is represented as a rose pink in color. I wrote this in a note. These are notes from a long time ago when I did this. Man, my birthday is an October birth. Stone is pink in color. That's the same as Aleister Crowley. That's the same as Paschal Beverly Randolph. That's the same as Adolf Hitler. Some great company there. Like I'm in some great company. You know what I'm saying? For real. I love it though. You know what I'm saying? People are like, oh my goodness. Yes, I am everything and nothing at the same time. You know nothing of what I know. Only what I put on here on these videos is only what I allowed for people to see. What I know. Oh man, I'm in some great company. Anyway though, yeah. Oh, and Elijah Muhammad too. Yeah, how did I forget that? I think I did say that thing. Yeah, Elijah Muhammad. Yeah, it is. It is dawn, the hint of light about to come, but not by any means that light. He has a lock of black hair curling around his ear. See? Remember I was talking about Nipsey Hussle he used to have his braids going to the side back in the day. Marvin Gaye used to have the beard coming from the ear going down the side of his face. Like when I had a prior video with them two, how the similarities in their physical deaths. So they took the course of Heru. But I remember the last thing Nipsey Hussle said on Instagram was him and Lauren London was together in a picture. He said Osiris and Isis in the picture, the last thing, and like with the next day he ended up passing. You know, so I see what the ritual was they were trying to do. And those, you know, but anyway, let's get, you know, I always bring that up in my mind. I'm like, okay, that's what that was about. So, but yeah, But remember, Osiris, he doesn't rise to his child. It's just turned into his younger self. It is all, they're all the same. They're different. As I said, the God one has 100 attributes in the Quran. 100 attributes. It could be way more deities around the world in mythology we could be using in different types. So we just limit ourselves just to Jesus. It actually just not even a viable source for us. It actually broke up that book. It's a way larger book at one point. So that means we don't got all the story. You can use that book as in the Bible, but put all the rest of those books together, and you can visualize more characteristics. Just like Esther is Ishtar, or you know what I'm saying. So like the women love Easter's story or Esther's story in the Bible. Esther, Ishtar, Easter. Okay, it's like, but it's just different places, and like people, that's pagan. Pagan, that means you don't have a religion. Religion is giving your allegiance to something. That's chaos. As I know, chaos. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to reading this. So like that's why when you give a religion, you have to give your allegiance to something. All right. So that means they could be telling you a lie. Spell religion. Okay. Why believe? Spell believe. BELIEVE. LIE is in the middle of and believe. I would rather know. I would rather know. Yeah, so the lock of black hair curling around his ear, as in the pineal gland. As I said, with the whole thing with the mouthwash with no alcohol in the mouthwash, I started to get those pimples around my ear, around the end of like a little part of the earlobe and around the back of the ear. I was like, man, something's going on. So when I started doing it, they just started disappearing. That's what I was saying. Watch that. They're doing it for a reason. Like they're taking out the alcohol. They know like you can't kill bacteria. Then the inner ear is what? Watch what it say. What does it say? Has a lock of black hair curling around his ear, and that is the influence. The influence of the highest descending upon the Brahmarandra Chakra. What? That's your mind, your pineal gland, highly melanated so-called black people. That's your pineal gland. That's like everybody else don't got that. This is like a small section. I remember Brother Bobby him was talking about. I remember seeing it a long time ago, but he brought it up, and that's why I had his book, because he talked about this book. And he said, and I remember seeing it in the lecture. I said, let me get this book, and I checked it out, and I saw it. I'm like, that's very, very telling, because he only talks about it a little bit, but I found it in another book he was talking about. See? But yeah, all right, let's keep going. I don't want to waste time. All right. The ear is the vehicle of Akasha, spirit. Remember, the Queen of the Damned. She loved the music. His name was Lestat. But I saw somewhere else in this book, I don't want to get sidetracked. It was a Lestat in this character. And Lestat was like the fool for actually going. I don't want to lose where I was at, and then we just start talking about something totally different. But let me stay focused. So Lestat, but I found out another name. Lestat was going down, like I said, like the Heru's eye of Heru is going down, but the other one, you have to do if you know you're studying, on out of the ninth arch. That's what it's called. The ninth arch. And they talk about that. All right. So, let's keep going. This is the only salient symbol. It is the only indication that he is not merely the bald baby, because it is the only color in the blob of rose pink. But on the other hand, his thumb is either against his lower lip or in his mouth. which it is one cannot say. That is, meaning he's being quiet, listening. He's intaking more information, and if it doesn't apply, you can hold that and use it at a different time. Use it at a different time, because like if somebody was telling you something, like it can't really apply to me, but sometimes different information that you don't have can apply to you somewhere down the line, and like, man, I'm glad I held on to that in my mind somewhere. So, okay, but that's what that means. Being able to be quiet. That's why you have two ears and one mouth. Even though the two is one mouth and two lips, but it's without, you have to keep them together. They still part of one unit. The ears are two different parts of the face, so you have two ears and one mouth for a reason. So that means there is. I'm sorry here again. The thumb is either against his lower lip or in his mouth. Being quiet, which it is, one cannot say. Like I said before, listening and gaining information. There is here a quarrel. Mind your business. Don't do that. Don't do it, man. Don't do that. Chill out. Okay. Okay. His thumb is either against his lower lip or his mouth. Which it is, one cannot say. We just talked about that. There is here a quarrel between two schools of thought. If he is pushing up his lower lip, he emphasizes silence as silence. If his thumb is in his mouth, it emphasizes the doctrine of Ihai. I shall be, yet in the end these doctrines are identical. The babe is in an egg of blue, which is evidently the symbol of the mother. Where they say Nuit, or in the like I said before, the Stele of Reveling, you see at the bottom of it is 666, and also the number is 718. So mother is the blue of space, the darkness. The sun comes around, but it doesn't last all the time, everywhere at the one time. It has to be around for the light to be shown. But the sun came from the darkness, which is what? The great mother. The egg is sitting upon a lotus. And this lotus grows on the Nile. So your blood is connected. So if you're getting bacteria, and see how you can connect all this stuff, and I'm going to show you another book. Exactly something totally different. The same thing in a totally different book, and it brings the same information. Because Akasha, you find that in Hindu. Brahmarandra Chakra, that's a Hindu word. So let me show you. Check this out. The Goetia, the lesser key of Soloman, the king. Okay, these are all mythological characters. Soloman never existed in real life, but it's just telling you about housing the demons inside the physical body, or the demon, like most people say, Leviathan, the snake, the serpent that Moses raised up to the staff and turned to your spine. It's just talking about the body, and he spread the Red Sea, which is the blood in your back. And then he took out Pharaoh's men when when they walked through the sea, and they took them out. They just take it out you got little bacteria. They use that story as a bacteria. Getting your bacteria out your mouth, that leads to the ear, right? So let me show you. See, now look. I had to put this in my head. Like, this is like, wait a minute. Why did they talk about the pineal gland? Like, hey, again, Brother Bobby, he said, extend your teacher's work. So he said, why don't they ever talk about the ear? I found another book. He told us to go into this book too. He said, different books. Check them out. Everything. You get your hands on. I had this for a while. Both of these books damn near at the same time. But I did not realize it. I actually ordered these books at the same time, really. And I did not realize I'm going to run back into these maybe about 3-4 years after I bought them. When you go back into books, you'll see things because your knowledge is expanded. They would always say, go back into those books sometimes. Your knowledge is expanded. You have more of an understanding of everything. People like to say inner, over. You know what I'm saying? I always say understanding, whatever. Understanding is you have to go to the inner world, the underworld, to get something. You're on a light surface so much, that means you're letting the ego take over. Your light, you have to go inside to let it build up and see everything, because you'll give a conclusion before it's time for you to give a conclusion. So I see it again in another book by the same, from a different, it's translated by different people. These are by our own ancestors, highly melanated black people, highly melanated black people, highly melanated black people, or so-called black people, highly melanated people. You know, that's the case. So this is everywhere. It says Soloman and Sheba, but he had to encase these demons. So in these demons, what? Or they come from your brain fluid. This is all parts of the brain. So let me show you. Okay, English children are taught Pace the Education Act that the universe lies in infinite space. Hindu children in the Akasha, say those in, you can find it in Hindu countries, which is the verse, which is the same thing in just the different cultures. But remember, all this stuff came from us. If we know that, that's why everything can get to these people. But how you see everybody that look like highly melanated so-called black people in every country? Some of them were wiped out in different countries, but they were there first. They had to get rid of the people to make certain people feel like they wasn't from there for a true purpose. Those Europeans who go a little deeper learn from Fichte that the phenomenal universe is the creation of the ego. Hindus or Europeans studying under Hindu gurus are told that by Akasha is meant the assuming higher dimensions of space, the third eye. Akasha is meant the hold on. Let me get this a little better so you can see it. I'm missing it. I'll make sure I have the right spot for it. Akasha is meant the Citakash, the blackening stage. Citakash. I said everything comes from the darkness. Citakash. The Akasha is situated in the third eye, which is the first eye, because you came to your body from your pineal gland, which is your first eye, because now you're making your mind first, and your body is a tool. You have to take care of it, but you control everything, like a car or a forklift or a speedboat or whatever. Whatever it is, you're controlling it with your mind, like you're controlling your body with your mind. I.e. the brain, i.e. in the brain or underneath the brain. I have a video with David. It's called David Icke is Wrong. David Icke, he's a British intelligence working with Quaker Mutwa, and you know those people out in the area where Quaker Mutwa was at. Remember, that was British intervening going on out there. So they got one of the priests and they took his necklace out there because he's helping the British. He's giving them wrong, but we are the snake people. But the video I'm talking about, I have in my section, is about David Icke is Wrong. We are the reptilians, highly melanated, so-called black people. All right, the highly melanated people on this planet or this third dimension in the brain by assuming higher dimensions of space. Dementia. Remember, there's a disease called dementia. It's different versions in your mind. Remember Jet Li, the one movie. He's the best version of himself out of all those versions. He took off and got rid of. The time cops don't want you having that ability. I've been able to, let's keep that to myself. Keep that on that talk to myself. I'm good on that. I already know what they look like already. Assuming higher dimensions of space, we can assimilate this fact to realism, but we have no need to take so much trouble. So, let's go a little into it. I read this a little earlier today. That's where I stopped it. I said, let me put this together because I had to deal with this. So I'm telling you, put in rubbing alcohol inside your inside your mouthwash. So I put it in my hydrogen peroxide when I brush my teeth. My gums don't bleed no more. I haven't seen blood in months. It's been like damn near a month and a half, 2 months since I started doing it. I haven't seen blood nowhere. So I'm telling you, I'm gonna read something to you too. Also, another version of what I'm telling you about. So you always you always want to read the note that's actually, you see right here, number 2. Always read those. It could be something impactful that can lead to something else. So I was reading them. All right, here it goes. Okay, the manuscript of this essay at the Harry Ransom Humanities Research Center, University of Texas at Austin, adds here through the ear. Hold up, rewind. So remember, Akasha is what? The spirit of Akasha, right? The ancestral spiritual family realm, right? So we put in information of certain. We put in information to put into the Akashic records. We're creating a large community of information or things that's to be done down here on this in this third dimension, or this on this planet. So it's going to a database, a mother lode. So now watch this. So so when it says the ear, through the ear, I was like, I checked that out. I said, that's right, that's true. They said that the spirit of Akasha, the spirit on the inside, the pineal gland. They say the third eye, or I call it the first eye. Okay, I can and will. The spirits of the Goetia are proportions of the human brain, or portions of the human brain. That's why I say 72. That's a 9. 9 ether. 7 plus 2 is 9. 72 is 72 Goetia. See, the spirits of the Goetia are portions of the human brain. Their seals, therefore, represents Mr. Spencer's projected cube. The cube is looked at as what? A pyramid. Or this at 360 degrees, the square is a circle. Okay, establishment. Mr. Spencer's projected cube. Methods of stimulating or regulating those particular spots through the eye. The names of God or vibrations. Calculated to, I was like, it's 72 different deities in here, and they have different legions. A legion is what, 10,000. Some of them got 66 legions. Yeah, that's a lot of it. You have 12 6-packs. There's a book. Another one. Angels and Demons. I forgot the name of it, by Milo Duquette. So Angels, Demons, and something else. But yeah, you can find, he was talking about that he have 12 6-pack inside your brain. So, but yeah, but this is going more in detail, talking about that before you even get to that book. But the names of those deities are vibrations calculated to establish general control of the brain. So when people have schizophrenia, they don't have control or know how to hold certain things. But that version of themselves is going to come out, or this version of themselves come out and say, oh, this person is schizo, because they just don't have control over themselves. And while a lot of people have been called crazy or put in a crazy house, because they have to put a name or a title on anything. So that's why it's good to learn yourself. And some people do need to go, but this has become something that's been away from me. So general control of the brain, establishment of functions relative to the subtle world, dealing with. That's why it makes it. That's why they put him in a house, a crazy house, away from the general public. Control over the brain in detail, rank or type of the spirit, control of one special portion. So if it's 72 of them, they have different functions, and they all 72 have different legions too. Remember I said a legion is 10,000. Okay. Name of the spirit. Okay, I said number 2 is what? It says through the ear. And we got bad music or whatever going on, but it's like I was saying, either bad music. So if they taking out the alcohol, you got bacteria in your mouth getting to your inner ear. Remember MF Doom say on one of his last albums, it's called Keys to the Cuffs. The name of the album was JJ Doom, artist wise, the producer. JJ Doom, look at the album Keys to the Cuffs. He said the real enemy is microscopic, so it's getting inside. So now if they're able to poison you with without the alcohol, killing the bacteria can get in your ear and killing the deity on the inside of you, and you're not even knowing. It's like that's what had to happen with Bleeding Gums Murphy on The Simpsons. He ended up dying because of that. He was bleeding from the inside, internal bleeding. So being able to take care of that, so get you some. You can probably find it for $1 somewhere. Get you some rubbing alcohol, and it works. Trust me. No dentist visits or nothing. Like I haven't seen my mouth bleeding like at all. Period. I was like, that's what it was. I was looking like, man, you become your own physician. You're not going to like the doctor and something happened, you fracture or something or break something. Figure that shit out. And something like you gotta have this card and this, and you gotta give them a vial of blood or whatever. And now you're in jurisdiction of being killed and cloned somewhere down the line. And it's easy for them to do it when they're having children. They're able to, when women want the epidural, they're able to put anything in their back. Do anything they want to. You don't know what they're putting in your back. You know what I'm saying? So, and they're able to probably more likely to take your blood and do whatever all the rituals they want on you. And you never even know. All right? So, it's just going to show you being able to take care of that bacteria. So it's showing through the ear. The ear is connected to the end of the mouth, and the mouth is the like you said, we said before in the book of Thoth, the inner ear. He keeps his mouth closed, whatever he's listening to. If you have an ear infection, how can you hear? So if you can't kill the bacteria that's getting to your ear, then you're gonna have. I saw like when I was popping those pimples around the ear, like it was like pus coming out, like it was infected, and I haven't seen none of them come back. It was on the earlobe, and it was like, man, what's going on? They must have been really getting close. So I'm glad I figured that out. You can get you some rubbing alcohol. If you use toothpaste, that's on you. I don't advise that. It's always ways around it. And I figure you can use what is that? Coconut oil. Like the solid kind, you can use that for toothpaste, and the coconut oil, and in solid form, and put it with the what do you call that? The peroxide. You can do that together, or so the way I'm doing it is the way I'm doing it. So that's different ways if you don't want to use because it has all the things that you don't want to use. In toothpaste. So, but if it's on you, well, I would say put you some. It makes you dumb the stuff that's in that toothpaste. So I don't even want to say his name, whatever, fuck it. So, but if you want to look it up, what toothpaste is in toothpaste, look it up, and you'll see. Which is the same thing as in faucet water. That's why I say don't drink that shit. My aunt 48 just passed. So kind of cause a little chaos for change. Better speak the truth. So, but yeah. So if you're able to do that, do that. Get you some rubbing alcohol and put it in your mouthwash. You gotta put a whole bunch in it. Just put a little bit when you wash it around because it's killing that bacteria. All right. So that was just something I was putting together, and I'm glad I read across it today. And just shows the general control of the brain. So if you can't control your brain, you can't do anything. You can control your body. Then that means your deity inside your body. You could be another person being inside. You could be dead early without getting your work finished, or you could be another person inside the nursery home at a younger age. And I'm not understanding why it's eating up because, like I said, it's a part of the brain. Dimensions, like I said, dimensions before. Dimensions or what? Like dementia. How looks it says higher dimensions. See, if you're stuck in one dimension, you're in dementia, Hey, these words are spells. They tell you to spell it a certain way, man. You gotta break past that shit and look right through it. So I wanted to give y'all like something that I found out that could probably help somebody. You can save them a doctor visit or save them a dentist visit. You know what I'm saying? Just about spending $1. And I was like, man, should I do this? I'm like, wait a minute, I drink alcohol. I haven't drunk it in a little while though, but like I mix up different alcohols together. Like if I put it in my mouth too long, it'll burn your shit. I said, burn. I need this to burn. So I said, get the alcohol. I put the alcohol in that hydrogen peroxide, and my mouth was feeling so good, man. I'm telling you, it feels so nice. I'm like, I do that every time now. I don't skip it, so you should do it yourself. All right, but yeah, so that's the way they can kill the deity on the inside, or the face of God. I wrestle with the God pineal all night. That's the pineal gland, the dream, the sleep world. That's the real world where we can live at. So that's what we live at, because they can't kill a ghost. When we get to grabbing guns and fighting with politics and marching and shit, we on their realm. That's physical shit. They can't kill us. You can kill a physical, but if you protect it, you protect it. All right? But it's something you can do. That alcohol, rubbing alcohol, trust me, it'll help. Trust me. Like I said, produce unusual brain changes. Hence, their summary is of unusual kind. All right? Its projection back into the apparently phenomenal world is therefore unusual. Okay, the appearance of the spirit, which really means the soul. The soul. So, yeah. His conversation, possible shocks from imprudence and so on, even to ecstasy on the one hand, and death or madness on the other. So, to die and to live again. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. It went a lot longer than what I thought it was going to, but when it got to come out, it got to come out. So, don't block it. So I said I had to put this out. But yeah, I'm glad I went back into this book, and I was looking for a conclusion, a way to put that together, and all these different elements started coming together. So, and I'm glad I read of it just now. So this is a way to close it out and end this chapter, or a great way to end this video actually. Put the video together, and so people can understand, to get them some rubbing alcohol. So because you can end up not having control of your body. So, all right. Remember, the spirit jackers.